Happy Monday. Trying to get everything set up. Okay, that's a little too loud. Hey y'all. I think oh no, we're not on Clubhouse. I'm like, we're not everywhere we need to be yet. I'm trying to play These Are My Confessions, the instrumental version. Happy Monday. Happy Move to Millions Monday. Dr. Darnyelle here. We are going to get this party started. I am so excited to be back with you guys for another Move to Millions Monday. Okay, so we are broadcasting live on Instagram on the Darnyelle Jervey Harmon page. We are on Facebook inside of our Move to Millions Facebook group. We are on Clubhouse in the Move to Millions Club, and we are on LinkedIn. Okay, I think the gang is all here. Okay, so last week we started this new series called Confessions of a Real $1 Million CEO, and we're going to continue that conversation today. I am committed to sharing with you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the incredible of being the CEO of your own company. I think that we see two things in the marketplace. We see the people who are walking on the beach with their laptop and they make it seem so easy. And then we see the people who barely talk about what they're actually doing because they're like head down grinding, making it happen. I don't think either of those really serve us. And so my goal is to create an environment where those of you who aspire to be $1 million CEOs, if you've got millions on your mind, if you're in your six-figure business and you know that you have what it takes to generate millions, you believe it in your heart, you feel convicted in your spirit that you're supposed to have income at that level, not just so you can flex and floss, right? Not just so that you can go buy all the things. You're going to do that. We know that, right? You're going to buy the car. Listen, I bought the car. I drive a BMW X7, fully loaded six-figure car. Drive it, love it. It's the bomb, right? You're going to build the house or buy the house, right? We decided to build the house. We built a 7,700 square foot mansion. You're going to buy the handbag. I bought the Louis and the Prada. You're going to do it. But guess what? Once you get past all of that, it's time to actually act like a CEO. So last week, we talked about the fact that many of you are calling yourselves a CEO, but you're not really one yet. Like, it's on your business card. It sounds real cute when you introduce yourself at networking events, but you're actually not really a CEO. I'm not trying to diss you. I'm not trying to throw shade. The fact of the matter is, when you first get to six figures, there's really not anything to CEO. Like, you're still trying to figure it all out. So you can get to six figures by accident. Some of you have probably experienced this. You've certainly heard me share this before, right? Getting to six figures really isn't that hard. Now, I might oversimplify it and make some of you guys upset, but it's really not that hard. Like, you could go and get yourself $10,000 clients. 10 clients is six figures, right? Like, I mean, let's just keep it real. 20 people enrolling in your 5K program is six figures. It's $100,000. There's not really anything done. Like, you're just getting to the point where you now have income enough. You've proven concept. Like, you know that what it is that you do and what you bring to the table is actually valuable for other people. You know that once you get to $100,000, but there's still not really anything to CEO yet. Like, you haven't even probably really sat down and set a vision for your company to go to the next level. Like, you're probably just getting in where you can fit in, trying to keep your head above water, trying to keep new clients coming in, because as you got to those six figures, depending upon how those clients pay you, like if they paid you in full, you might have spent that money and been like, woohoo, let's pop some bottles and make it rain, until you realize that the next month you're going to need some of that income that you spent. So you're just not a CEO yet, although it's what you put on your business card. And that's totally okay. Right? A big part of the work that we do at Incredible Factor University is we work with entrepreneurs that are at six figures, and we help them to become CEOs that make and move millions. Right? So we give them something. We show them what they need to be CEOing. We help them put the right processes and methodologies in place. We help them to refine their sales process so that they can start to get some predictability in their revenue, so that they can go from $10,000 a month to $100,000 a month. Okay, I'm being told that I'm muted on Clubhouse, but I don't have my phone on mute, so I don't know what's happening there. Can y'all hear me? Oh, well, y'all can't tell me if you can hear me. Fred, flash your mic if you can hear me. Sorry, y'all. We having a little technical difficulties on our other platforms. Okay, I'm going to leave and come back, and let's see if that fixes it. All right, let's see. Oh, did it make me start the room again? Okay, no, it didn't. Okay, can you hear me now, Fred? Okay, I'm still not getting that Fred can hear me. So, now I'm on mute again. Can you hear me now, Fred? Okay, Fred still can't hear me. Okay, we might just have to forego Clubhouse today if we can't figure out how to make it work. I'll try it one more time, but then after that, we're going to have to keep it going because we got other people on the other platforms, and I just lost my complete train of thought, right? I know I was talking about the fact that you could have gotten to 6 figures and now be at the point where you're trying to figure out how to actually put some infrastructure in place in your business. Like, there's no reason to even start infrastructure if you're not making 6 figures, if you haven't proven concept. See, one of the biggest mistakes I think that you can make is start trying to systematize your business. Stop trying to systematize your business until you know that the things that you're systematizing are actually going to work. Like, they do actually work for you. Until you know that, you're like wasting time and energy, right? So sometimes people also start CEOing too early. You start trying to move into that mode before you've actually proven that you have what it takes to build a sustainable business, right? Your first 5 clients is not enough to start CEOing, right? You need to do it a couple of times, right? So one of the things that we do in our Leverage and Scale Weekend program is we work with our clients. We help them to update their offer suite, their Leverage and Scale offer suite. We help them to create their messaging suite. So now that they have the right messages to appeal to their up-level client for their offers, and then we help them with their marketing and sales suite. So we do all of the suites as a part of Leverage and Scale Weekend, and then we support them through their first launch of those suites. After they launch the first time over those first 12 weeks, we want them to launch again, because it could be that what they did, they didn't follow all of the steps. Something didn't go quite right. We're not yet at the point where we're ready to actually put the automation in place to put it on Evergreen or any of those types of things. Well, the same thing is true in your business when you first start it when you first get it to 6 figures, right? And so a big thing that we have to do, and I made this mistake as well, is don't try to CEO before you actually have something to CEO. That could be a t-shirt, or somebody might want to write that down. Don't try to CEO before you actually have something to CEO, right? You want to be making sure that you are looking at what you're doing day in and day out to create what you're creating. And you want to be doing that to find the success clues, to tighten the process so that when you actually put the framework in place to have this become a repeatable, duplicatable process that happens over and over, eventually without you, it actually yields what it is that you want to yield. Now, here's the thing, y'all. This wasn't even what I came on here to talk about today. This was not my confession. My confession was not about this, but I'm excited about the direction we just went. I'm going to get to what my confession for the day was, if God would have it be that way, or I'm just resolved to not even be concerned about it, right? And we'll just keep it pressing. So one of the things that I highly recommend that you do, if you just got to 6 figures, but you know that that was just a stepping stone and not a stopping point, right? If you know that your 6-figure business right now, 100K, 135K, 180K, 200K, 300K, it's not your stopping point, it's just a stepping stone, put a 1 in the chat. We've foregone Clubhouse. Sorry, Clubhouse. I can't figure it out, so we're not gonna have Clubhouse today. So once you do that, right? Once you are clear that it's not enough for you to stop wherever it is you are right now, now we've got to actually start dealing with what I call your inner incredible snatcher. Here's my real confession for today. So today for me has been one of those days. I said I was going to find that Monica song. Y'all remember that song? Just one of those days. Oh, look, y'all don't want me singing. That a girl goes through, you know what? When you're angry inside and you don't want to take it out on them. Like, that's the kind of day I'm having as the CEO of my company. Everything is irritating me. Everything has been irritating me today. And when you have those kind of days, well, let me make it about me. So in having this day, what I've realized is that I'm in the process of another up leveling. Have you ever been there? You know, when your fear is colliding with your faith, when you feel like you know that you're ready for your next level, but you're a little nervous at the same time. Can I get a witness? Anybody get it? Because that's how I'm feeling. This is my real confession for today, that when you are a CEO, the fears, the doubts, the confusion, the frustration, the questioning of who you are doesn't just dissipate. It doesn't just go away. In fact, can I tell you the truth? The voices get louder. So a long time ago, when I first started my company, I was working on this book, which I never finished. It was called Back Away from the Incredible Snatchers. Now, Snatchers is an acronym that stands for those who have been sent to negate all talent and confidence that has been earmarked and reserved for your success. That's a snatcher. Other people call this your inner gremlin, or, you know, that still small voice, your limiting beliefs. That's an incredible snatcher. And so this past week, well, actually, if I can be honest, I'm making confessions. These are my confessions as a real $1 million CEO. Once we launched our rebrand, I have been feeling like this. So all of last year, we spent the whole year getting the brand ready to present to those of you in the public, right? And if you've gone to incredible1enterprises.com, if you haven't gone there, go. It is bold. It is big. It is like we are kicking butt and taking names. Like it's out there, right? And so as soon as we dropped the new websites, I started to feel like my faith was colliding with my fear. And I hope it's okay with you that I share with you my confession. I want to do this. I know this is not popular, and there's probably a lot of CEOs out there who wouldn't actually tell you this. They want to act like they woke up like this. They want to act like they woke up and they were in a multiple seven-figure business, and they were on the top of the world, and they were getting awards and accolades. That's how they want to act. Yeah, well, that ain't my story. And even though I'm a multiple $1 million CEO, I still feel fear. I'm feeling it right now. This is my confession, y'all. I'm feeling it right now. But here's the thing. Even though I feel it, I'm not going to let it stop me. So when you are at the point where your next level is beckoning, there will be fear. Somebody write that down for me. When you're at the point where your next level is beckoning, there will be fear. Here's what I need you to know. Fear is an indication that your next level is present. Write that down. Fear is an indication that your next level is present. So yes, Tanisha, there has to be something bigger coming. See, I felt like we spent all of 2021 doing this rebrand. We were going to put it out there. Ta-da! And it was just going to be amazing and everyone was going to love it and we could just sit in it. But that's not the way it works. It's not the way it works when you're a CEO with a big vision and a mission to impact the lives of other people. That is literally that is the stake in the ground so that you know where you came from, but you keep moving to put another stake in the ground. So we made these big, bold claims and we have the results to back it up. Like it's not smoke and mirrors. Like some of the stuff you might experience in the marketplace. Like, no, this is legit, right? But even with all of that, there's still inside of me, my inner incredible snatcher is trying to take me out. It's trying to convince me that you would be better served if I went somewhere and sat down. Right? Who has felt this way? Who has felt this way for whatever milestones you've hit in your business? Have you felt like this? Have you maybe stifled your next level of success because of the fear of what might happen as you go to the next level? Has that happened to anyone else? Please don't tell me I'm not the only one. Please tell me somebody else has experienced this too. Right? And so we've set some really, really big goals that we've never set before inside of our business this year. And as the CEO who is responsible for spearheading the vision, rallying the team, setting the standard, for me to be feeling fear and trepidation and continuing to move forward to the next level. Our next level is 8 figures or $10 million in our company, right? Every time we've done millions, we've been at 2 million or so, right? We've never done 4 million or 5 million. I have clients who have done that level of growth. I haven't. And I think it's honestly been because of my inner incredible snatcher, if I can keep it real with you. And the reason why I wanted to share this with you is because I want you to know that as you continue to go to your next level, as you continue to, your $100,000 business becomes your $300,000 business, which becomes your $750,000 business, which becomes your $1.5 million business. Every single time you up level, your inner incredible snatcher is going to check you. It's going to check you. It's going to validate that where you are going, you are really ready to show up fully to get to that next level. And you're going to have one of two choices, right? And you guys have probably heard this before. You're going to have the opportunity to fight for your next level and to keep pressing, or you're going to have the opportunity to flee your next level and decide that you're better off being where you are right now. For years, I decided that I was better off staying where I was. I was better off. At least that's what I told myself. I told myself that it was better where I had already been, right? Like I could predict a certain level of success. But how many of you know that's not faith? That's not faith, right? If you have all the answers and if you know what's going to happen when you get there, there's not faith. Now, I know that this sounds crazy to be a CEO talking to business people about the role that faith has to play in getting to your next level. That's crazy. That's absurd. Who talks like that? Business is a numbers game. How many of you have heard that, right? I've said that before. Business is a numbers game. And we just run the numbers to figure out what we need to do to get the business to the next level. And that's true, except the size of the numbers can cause an element of fear that makes you begin to question and doubt whether or not you really have what it takes to hit the next level. I've been there. I'm there right now. Like, I'm just keeping it real with you. This is my confession. Like, I'm just keeping it real. Now, I'm going to keep going. You know why I'm going to keep going? Because of each of you. Because I told God yes. When God gave me Move to Millions in October of 2020, and I had my Moses moment, as I call it, when I tried to convince him that he should send someone else, right? Some of y'all know the story of Moses in the Bible. When I had my Moses moment, and I was like, God, don't send me, send Aaron. Send Keisha, send anybody else. Don't send me. I'm not equipped. I can't do it. I'm not the right one. Because I was questioning. I was looking at my past failures instead of looking at my past successes. But when I accepted and I said, okay, God, you're right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You picked me. I trust you. I'm going to operate in the realm of faith. God operates by faith. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. So I'm going to show up and I'm going to do it. I'm going to go all in on helping people move to millions, right? I'm going to do it. It's going to be hard work, but my team and I will show up for it. We'll do it, right? As soon as I released my yes, my inner incredible snatcher started clearing her throat. Immediately, the fear started to show up. And it was and continues to be an indication that my next level is present. See, this is why I'm telling you this, because I don't want you to feel the fear and move in the opposite direction. I want you to feel the fear and get excited, because that means that your next level is loading. Because when you realize that your next level is loading, the actions that you begin to take, the way that your team, for those of you who already have teams supporting your efforts, starts to show up for you, the way that new clients and people interested in the work that you do start to show up. See, like this whole time that I've been in business, well, maybe not the whole time, since 2011, I've been helping people build $1 million companies. Now, it wasn't my claim to fame. It wasn't what I wanted to be known for, but we have been doing it. We have been doing it all along. And this whole time, we've had people who have been watching me, who have been on my list, who have been probably maybe patiently waiting for me to speak a language that would appeal to them, to start showing up in a way and in an energy that would add value to them, right? We had been noticing that. But when I took this firm stance, and when you take the firm stance, then what you actually do is you give the other people who have been watching your journey permission to start their journey, right? I think Marianne Williamson says it so well in her poem, Our Deepest Fear, right? Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, it's that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. She goes on to question, who are we to say that we're not, right? But my favorite part is towards the end of the poem when she says, when you let your light shine, you are unconsciously giving others permission to do the same. And as you are liberated from your fear, your presence automatically liberates others. So the reason why I started the Confessions of a Real $1 Million CEO series on Move to Millions Monday is because I want you to understand the truth. I want you to make the move to millions, because we need you at the $1 million mark. We need to create jobs. We need to maintain economic sufficiency. We need to influence households. We need to create financial legacy. See, some of you think that legacy that is not financial is okay. But we need the legacy that's financial. Because if you look the word legacy up in the dictionary, it points to a financial result. I want people to be able to speak well of you when you're gone, because you were nice, or you were a great speaker, or you wrote an amazing book. But I also want them to be able to speak well of you because of the causes you contributed to, the schools you started, the businesses that you invested in, the communities that you rebuilt. That's why you got to make millions, not just so you can have the things. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. And so even though I've been feeling this dichotomy of, should I? No, I'm gonna do it. Like it's literally like I'm double-minded. Like I am not unstable in all my ways, just so we're clear. But it's literally those moments where I want to put my foot on the gas and accelerate, but I got my foot on the brake just in case something goes wrong. Is it okay that I'm keeping it real with you? If it's okay, put a 5 in the chat for me. Because I want you to understand what it really looks like. Right? When you have a team, like we're on our team meeting today, and it's so great because our team meetings, there used to be like 3 of us. And now on Zoom, there's so many of us that I have to like scroll to see everybody. Like, I just love that, right? And to think that I am contributing, like we get paid on the 15th and the 30th. And so on the 30th, actually, we might have got paid on Friday. Did we get paid on Friday, Shanika? Okay, yeah, so we got paid on Friday because the 30th was on a Sunday. But like, say, I don't even know when I get paid. Those are $1 million CEO problems. But like for my team to think about this work, creating an environment for these people to be able to contribute to their families, to be able to create in that way. That's for me the reason why I'm doing millions. Because I want to establish, we're actually in the process now of setting up our nonprofit organization. I want to establish the Incredible Factor Foundation. because I want to continue to contribute to those causes that are important to me, that are important to my community, right? And I can't do that at just over 6 figures. Because at just over 6 figures, I really only have enough to pay myself and to handle the obligations of the business. There's not a lot left over. And so although I've felt this fear and probably will continue to feel the fear, like we're working on our tour. So, excuse me, our tour, the Move to Millions tour, is going to happen in early March. March 2nd, we'll be in Washington, D.C. March 8th, we'll be in Atlanta, Georgia. And on March the 10th, we'll be back here in Delaware, where I live. And then almost right after that, in May, we'll be holding Move to Millions Live, our live event experience for entrepreneurs with millions on their mind. Like, we'll be holding that event. And I set a really big goal, guys. I set a goal that we have never accomplished. We have actually never even set a goal like this before. And that goal has me a little nervous. It has me a little scared, if I'm being honest and transparent with you, because it means, the fear means that I will have actually accomplished what I set out to accomplish this year. My goal, I'm going to tell you guys my goal. I probably shouldn't say this out loud, because then if I don't achieve it, then nobody will be able to say, you didn't achieve that goal, Darnyelle. Isn't that the reason why some of you don't put your goals out in the world? No, but let me tell you my goal. My goal is to be able to help 300 people this year move to millions this year in 2022. That probably sounds crazy. It sounds a little crazy even as I say it. And even as I say it to you, I feel a little knot in the pit of my stomach. I feel a little something. But that indication to me is that my next level is loading. And that's really what I want for you to feel every single time you feel fears. You think about going after that client that you really want to serve. You've been so afraid to pitch yourself to them or to show yourself up to them for fear that they might say no. But what about the fact that they might say yes? To raise your rates, right? And this is for all of you who just raised your rates at the top of the year. So you just did an increase, but to raise them again, because if you're being honest with yourself, you cannot deliver the level of service that you want to be known for based on the investment that you're asking your clients to make. Right? Writing the book. Some of you, your next level will be solidified when you actually write the book. Listen, I'm writing my next book right now. I want y'all to pray for me. Right? Hiring the team. Now, I'm not talking about a catch-all assistant. I'm talking about actually beginning to think like a CEO and organizing your company in teams and thinking about the teams that are going to be required so that you as the CEO don't have to spend all of your time working in the business so that you actually have the ability to work on it. That's what I'm talking about. These CEO level decisions that you have to make. What about firing the team? Because some of y'all are holding on to people that are not adding value, that are not influencing the bottom line because you like them, because you don't want to hurt their feelings. See, being a CEO doesn't mean you have to be mean or crass, but it does mean that you have to think about what is best to move your company forward. That you sometimes have to make decisions that aren't popular, that you sometimes have to push back when members of your team make requests or ask for things that are just not in the purview of what you could actually do for your company, right? It's going to require you to be looking at your numbers. Today is the final day of January of 2022. How many of you have been paying attention to your numbers in the first month of the year and could tell me right now what you've accomplished revenue-wise and sales-wise this month, the first month of the new year? How many of you even know that? See, it's going to require you to really show up as a CEO and pay attention to those things. See, when you're really a CEO, you can't play the avoidance trick of not knowing your numbers. You're going to have to know them because it's on you as the primary impetus for how things get done inside of your company. So even though you set the goal and you decide that you're gonna do this thing, and you are even feeling good about doing that thing. I feel really, really good about my goals. I feel really, really good about our rebrand. I feel really, really good about going all in on working with entrepreneurs at the 6-figure level already. I feel really good about all of that. And it doesn't stop the fear that I feel at the same time. It doesn't. But I see the fear for what it is, which again is an indication that my next level is present. Let me do a quick reset. Hello, for those of you who are hanging out with us. This is Move to Millions Monday. I am your host, Dr. Darnyelle Jervey Harmon. We are missing Clubhouse today because Clubhouse was giving me some technical difficulties. Mercury is in retrograde, in case anybody was wondering. She's almost out of retrograde, but she's still there right now. And so we forewent Clubhouse, but we are broadcasting live on Instagram, on the Darnyelle Jervey Harmon page, on Facebook, in the Move to Millions group on Facebook, and on LinkedIn, on my, I think we're on my personal page on LinkedIn as well. And this is our series on Move to Millions Monday, Confessions of a Real $1 Million CEO. I thought it would be cool to come and be honest with you about what it looks like to be a CEO, what it feels like, what are some of the decisions that you have to make that you may or may not like and or regret, right? But for those of you who aspire to get to a greater level in your business, and I am speaking specifically about the $1 million mark, if you aspire to make millions in your business, there are many things about who you are and how you show up that are going to have to change in order to support an environment where millions will be possible. You're going to have to work with your team on their relationship with money. Could you imagine being a company that wants to generate millions of dollars and the people on your team don't think that they are worth it, and therefore you and your business might not be worth it? How do you think that might impact your ability to close new clients if the people on your sales team don't believe in high-end programs? That is a lie right there, girl. Write that down so we can talk about that later. Right? Like, what kind of problem might that create if your team doesn't believe that they deserve to earn at that level, or they deserve to be a part of a company that creates at that level? How do you think that might impact you as the CEO? And how will you actually work through that? How do you actually work through the fears? Let me share with you what I'm doing right now, because that was the main reason for today, was my confession on the fact that just because I hit this milestone doesn't mean I'm not afraid of the next one. Right? So here's what I do. Number one, I remind myself of who God says I am. I don't even trust myself about who I say that I am. I think about who God says that I am. So I go into the word, right? Or I recount the promises, the scriptures that I know, that I hold dear, that remind me of just who I am and who God says that I am. Number two, I look at what I have accomplished already. I am a big believer in journaling. And I keep an accomplishments and compliments journal. My accomplishments journal, it does exactly what it says. It holds the things I've accomplished. As simple as making my bed, which I have to do sometimes. We have this rule in our house: the person who gets out of the bed last has to make it. Every once in a while, my husband gets up before me. I have to make the bed. And as complex as writing a new book, or writing a new email sequence, or speaking on a larger stage, or getting published in the media. Every single accomplishment. Like, I remember when I graduated from high school, the first of all of my siblings to graduate. Only one other of my siblings has actually graduated from high school, and that's my brother, my youngest brother. right? That was a big deal. When I got into college, like all of the accomplishments. And the reason why I do this when I'm feeling the fear, I go back over them because it's a reminder that what once seemed impossible is actually going to be easy. See, sometimes you have to not only encourage yourself, but you have to remind yourself. You have to remind yourself that you got to that last milestone. And 9 times out of 10, it takes the same exact energy to get to the next milestone. While what got you to 6 won't get you to 7, the energy is the same. The way you showed up to get to $180,000 a year is the way you need to show up to get to $1.8 million a year. It's the same energy. You're going to apply the energy differently, but it is the same energy, right? So you have to be cognizant and clear and confident about who you are and what it is that you bring to the table. And that comes from looking back over what you've actually accomplished. The third thing that I do is I write down why I want the next goal. Why do you even want it? And here's what always invariably happens to me. The list starts out very surface. But I will ask myself why a minimum of 5 times. A minimum of 5 times. Why, Darnyelle? By the time I typically get to the 5th why, I'm actually now really thinking deep enough to create an emotional connection to my reason why. Here's why you need to connect to your why emotionally. Because your ability to actually show up for yourself when you don't feel like it will actually keep you going when you'd rather not. I'm going to keep it all the way real with you guys. I would rather right now to be on the couch with the fireplace on, watching whatever trash TV might be on. That's what I would rather be doing today. Didn't have the greatest of weekends in terms of how I felt, and I would just much rather not. But I got up today because I remembered why I do what it is that I do. And here's the key. It's not about the money. It's so not about the money at this point. It's for the ability to come on and talk to you guys. It's for you to be able to hear my heart, for me to be able to say something, one thing that inspires you to keep going in your business. That's why I do. One of the reasons why I do what I do. Another reason is for my babies that don't even exist yet. I'm showing up today so that I have something to leave them tomorrow. It's not about me. Write that down. If you're feeling fear, if you're stuck in fear and the fear is making you question whether or not you have what it takes to take the next step, it's because you're thinking about yourself. So let the fear and the reason for the why be a check, a gut check that you're off, you're out of alignment, you're making it about you. Because it's not about you. The work that we do in our businesses is not about us. It is about the impact and the transformation that we can put into the lives of other people. If you agree with me, put a 6 in the chat. If you agree, right? So after I've gone back to who God says that I am, I've looked at my accomplishments and I've realized my reason why. Typically by that point, there isn't fear anymore. Whatever was making me feel some kind of way, it's kind of dissipated. It's not speaking as loud, right? It's not giving me as much pause. I've got enough unction to take the step. I believe that God will give you more when you're moving than he ever will if you stand still. And so the next thing I do is I take the action. I do something in the direction of the goal to solidify that I am serious and committed to the goal. I love the John Assaraf quote. When you're interested, you do what's convenient, but when you're committed, you do whatever it takes. I'm committed to doing whatever it takes to achieve my goal. I may or may not get there. Here's the thing. I'm typically detached from any outcome of any goal. And so I may or may not get there. I may exceed it. I may be just shy of it. It may be way off. But guess what? I'm going to show up fully for it because I'm going to do whatever it takes. So with that, can't get my words out right. Whatever is within my ability to do is what it is that I'm going to do at that particular point in time. Despite the fear that I'm feeling in that moment that is threatening to keep me off track. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So what I've come to realize is that just because you become a CEO doesn't mean fear goes away. Just because you accomplish something great doesn't mean that the next level won't scare you, won't give you pause, won't make you question whether or not you actually have what it is and what it takes. And I think that knowing that going into the process is going to be the way to help you to get out of the process. Hear me when I say this. You are incredible. You can do it. And you got it. You have it. Like, it is yours to do. You just nearly need to show up for it. That's it. That's what I realized for myself. Like, I'm telling you guys that, but I'm also telling myself that. I literally today during my my team meeting, I told my team, I actually got emotional and cried a little bit. I'm like, I'm so afraid. But just actually saying it out loud dissipated the fear. And here's the crazy thing. Well, it's not a crazy thing. It's so perfect. I literally said that during my team meeting, and almost immediately after, we got a new application for someone to work with us, and we ended up getting a new client. A different person. So a person applied for our program. I was an amazing candidate, and someone enrolled in our mastermind after I expressed how I was feeling. Why am I saying this? The voices get louder the further along you get in the process to your next level. They're going to get louder. They're going to make you question whether or not you really have what it takes to go to the next level. Do yourself a service, but remember to who God says that you are. Check what you have accomplished that demonstrates that if you did it once, you can do it again, right? Success leaves clues. If you did it, that means that it is possible for you to do it, right? Number 3, get clear about your why. Why is this important? And get beyond the surface of it. Get deep. Get till you connect emotionally for it. And then take the next step. And then the last thing is I want you to celebrate. I want you to celebrate because you took the next step. Regardless of whether or not the next step that you took produces a result in the moment. Just the fact that you actually took a step is like you're kicking your fear in the gut. You're telling your fear that it will not hold you captive. And it will not keep you to getting from where it is that you want to be next. Because I promise you, it's not going away. It's not going to go away. Fear is your ego's way of trying to keep you safe. Let me repeat that. Fear is your ego's way of trying to keep you safe. Your ego will much rather you stay small and safe than to go out in the big and in the deep. And so it's going to do whatever it can to try to keep you safe. Okay? Know that by having an understanding of what fear is, what will actually start to happen, I hope, is that you'll start to get excited. Because I will be honest, it is both. It's exciting and it's nerve-wracking at the same time. But it's more exciting because I know what it is. I know it's an indication that my next level is present. The fact that I'm worried about it, right? The fact that I'm questioning if I'm the one to actually be able to do it with the amount of success and clues that we have. Do you know we got like 300 testimonials on our website? It's like crazy. It's crazy. I didn't even know until a couple of years ago. I hired a brand strategist and he started, like looking at her stuff. And he's like, oh my gosh, you have so much social proof of what it is you've actually accomplished and what you've helped people to do. Those types of things help those moments when you feel fear. But you are human. You're human. So the fear is going to come, but I want you to be able to see for what it is. That it is an indication that your next level of present. Because I promise you, as a CEO, fear is going to show up. But I want you to get to the point where you can actually do the Cabbage Patch. Or whichever dance you prefer to do. Because it means that you're one step closer to whatever it is that your next level is. So that's my confession for today. All right. So this conversation, as a part of all of our conversations, is powered by the Move to Millions tour. March the 2nd, Washington, D.C. March the 8th, Atlanta, Georgia. March the 10th, Newark, Delaware. The Move to Millions tour. If you would like to know what is going to be required for you to make and move millions, then I invite you to join us. I'm going to share with you exactly what is going to be required for you to have $1 million company. I don't want there to be any secrets. I want you to know what it's going to take so that you can determine how long it's going to take you to make the move to millions. We have people who do it in a year. We have people who do it in 5 years. We have people who do it in 3 years. There is no, you have to do it by a certain point in time. It's not like you're going to become a pumpkin if you don't make the move to millions by a certain point in time. There's a lot of work required to make the move to millions. As you're growing your business, you will start breaking your business. And that will create more frustration for you in the process. But I want to actually show you what it's going to take to put yourself in a position to prepare for a business that makes and moves millions. That's what we're going to be teaching. It's an introduction to our live event, Move to Millions Live, happening May 25th through the 27th of this year. During the event, we're doing something we have never done before, where not only will I be teaching some powerful content and doing some business makeovers, as I always do, we're going to be sharing. You'll get a first look at the first part of our brand new docuseries, also called Move to Millions, that will be released on Amazon Prime later this year. So you'll have the opportunity to get a first look at this powerful docuseries that we did in 2021. And you'll learn exactly what it's going to take to prepare your business to make and move millions. You can go to let's just go to gettoknowdarnyelle.com. Gettoknowdarnyelle.com. That's our link tree. It has all of our links there. And you can go ahead and grab your ticket for the Move to Millions tour. Listen, we are planning. I haven't released the date yet, but we are planning for a virtual tour. But you do not want to do the virtual tour if you can join us in DC, Atlanta, or in Delaware. If you're anywhere near a couple of hours to any of those cities, you need to get there. And here's why. Our virtual tour stop will not feature our docuseries. You won't be able to experience the docuseries if you do the virtual tour stop. That will be different content. Just content and business makeovers. So I want to be clear, set the right expectation of what you should expect. If you want to see exactly what it's going to take to prepare to become a CEO that makes and move millions, then you want to join us for the Move to Millions tour. The Move to Millions tour is coming. I'm so excited. It's amazing, you guys. Everything that we are planning for you this year is about becoming a CEO that makes and moves millions. That's where we're all in on as a company. That's what we want to offer to you so that you can actually experience legacy and wealth and shift some generational trajectories for your family and for your children's children and your children's children's children. That is what it's about for me. Normalizing millions, because y'all already know if you didn't come from millions, I believe millions should come from you. All right. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me for Move to Millions Monday. Again, I invite you to go join us at the Move to Millions tour. You can go to gettoknowdarnyelle.com and that'll get you to the link so that you can grab your ticket to join us for that. Or let them know. Let's just go there. I was about to say something else. That's it. All right, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I'll see you again next Monday, next Move to Millions Monday for another confession. Who knows what it's going to be next week. Who knows what my next confession is going to be. If this confession helped you and gave you something that you can use to begin to shift your fear into actually the actions that you must take to hit your next level, will you do me just a quick favor and put a 7 in the chat? You'll put a 7 in the chat to let me know that this conversation was good. I'm seeing hearts all around on Instagram. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy. What about you guys who are with me on Facebook? Was this good for you? Did I give you something good? If so, put a 7 in the chat. LinkedIn, same thing. If I put something good, if I told you something good that'll help you, then definitely share that with me. I want to make sure that whenever I show up, whatever I say is actually adding value to you. I do not want to waste your time. And so thank you for those of you who let me know that. That means a lot to me. Thank you for telling me, because I want to make sure that I don't waste your time and I actually tell you something that's going to take you to the next level. GetToKnowDarnyelle.com, 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 so that you can learn more about the Move to Millions tour. Also, lastly, our newest episode of the Move to Millions podcast is live. This week is all about the Move to Millions Continuum. The Move to Millions Continuum. So if you go to Get to Know Darnyelle, you'll get the link to be able to listen to our latest podcast episode. Thank you guys so much for your time and your attention. Just know, I believe that you were born to make and move millions. And there is nothing that would bring me more joy than to participate to your journey as you move to millions. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.